Now, have you ever considered a triathlon training camp? You may have seen a number of the pros heading away to warmer climates over the colder winter months. But it needn't be limited to just them, because with a bit of creativity and planning, you can also create your own training camp. That could be a long week away with some training buddies. It could be a family holiday and cramming some training in around that. Maybe a long weekend away training, or just a week off work and from home. Whatever it is, it's all possible. And you'll notice that I'm currently out in some warmer climates. I'm in Fuerteventura at the Playtas Resort. We've obviously got a week of filming ahead of us, but I'm going to be fitting some training in around that, a mini training camp of sorts. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to teach you some tips on how to create your own training camp. But before we do that, why not subscribe to the channel if you're not doing so already, and hit that bell icon so you'll be notified when all our other videos come out. Now, I've been on countless training camps over the years, and one of the biggest factors to consider is when to actually go. Now, I appreciate not everyone will have the luxury of being able to choose when they go, given they're probably bolting a training camp onto an existing family holiday. But if you do have that luxury, then I'd often advise the winter is a great opportunity to maybe avoid some of the poor conditions or weather conditions and get some good quality training in undisrupted. Now, personally, I would often do this. I wouldn't head away at the first sign of winter though, because, well, I try and embrace it for a bit, enjoy the change, and then I try and predict when maybe my patience might be wearing thin, which happens to be about now. Now, another consideration other than the climate and the weather is also your phase in training. Now, the winter is perfect for working on your base aerobic training. So a training camp will serve as a good opportunity to build on that aerobic engine. But another time is also immediately prior to race season. Again, heading away, getting some undisrupted quality miles in, but now really race specific. Now, I said when to go was the most important factor, but where to go is pretty up there on the priority list. Now, ultimately, going on a training camp is an opportunity to get away from the distractions of day-to-day life, work, and other obligations so that you can solely focus on your training within that training camp. Now, that could simply be a bit of time at home, a bit of time off of work. It could be just going a couple of hours down the road from your own home, or it could be going slightly further afield if time and budgets allow. It's a little bit of a treat for yourself, but also maybe avoiding some bad weather back home. Now, whatever it is, things that you may want to consider having available to you are, firstly, a pool or somewhere to swim, even if that's open water, some good running, and some good riding from your accommodation. Also, what do you need to work on for the season ahead, and does the location help that? For instance, are you looking to work on your hills? Does that place have any hills? And is there any other relevant infrastructure available, such as an athletics track or a gym, for instance? And maybe somewhere to chill out. Don't mind if I do. Now, also, who you go away on a training camp with can have a big impact too. Now, personally, I'd always head away with someone that can push me when I'm training, but also someone I enjoyed having around. Now, naturally, we often end up a little bit more tired on a training camp, so if someone ordinarily winds you up, they're going to wind you up even more on a training camp. And given that you are planning your own training camp, I'm going to safely assume that you're not going to have a coach on hand to you there. So that also backs up the benefit of having other training partners with you or group with you, people that are not only going to push you, but may be able to provide some training tips or give you some feedback on your training. But that said, there's nothing wrong with heading away on your own. Some people just prefer that and like it. But if you are perhaps going away on a family holiday and you're bolting some training onto that, then maybe get creative with your training. Get your family involved in some way. Maybe you're going to do a brick session, get your kids to set out a T2 for you. Or maybe get your partner out to train with you, maybe on an e-bike, or just train with you full stop because they might be fit enough. In terms of the training that you do on a training camp, well, it can be all too easy to get a little bit carried away, a little bit excited, and end up on a pro-level training schedule overnight. I'll be honest, it rarely ends well. Now, that said, here on GTN, we're quite often recommending the 10% rule, in which you never increase your training by more than 10%. But on a training camp, obviously you want to make the most of this time available to you and the fact that you're on a training camp, so you can skirt around that 10% rule to a degree and really make the most of it, but obviously not too much. Now also, if you are heading away to better weather and better conditions such as we're in right now, you might be wanting to make the most of that. So if you struggle to get bike mileage in back home due to the conditions, the lack of light, etc., then now might be the time for that. But that might mean maybe just ticking over to a degree with your swimming and your running, doing slightly easier sessions, slightly lower volume, allowing you to savor that energy for those quality bike sessions. Now there's also the length of time for that training camp that you want to be considering here. So if you're heading out for 2 weeks, you will definitely want to be considering a recovery day or a day off within those 2 weeks. That just allows your body time to adapt, recover, absorb that training, and allow you to stay consistent throughout the 2 weeks. But regardless of whether it's a week or 2 weeks, you will also want to be coming back from that training camp and making sure that you recover. Again, adapting, absorbing that training, recovering and moving on, and ultimately getting better as an athlete. That's what the training camp was for, after all. Well, I hope that has been interesting for you today and helpful for you. If you've enjoyed it, then make sure you give this video a like and don't forget to follow GTN.